This example comes from section 4.2, the unit circle, and in this example we're actually going to try to develop the unit circle as well as we can. So remembering that the unit circle is centered at 0, 0 and has a radius of 1, we should be able to label some points right away, being that they intersect right on the axis. So for example, this point, 1, 0. And that happens at an angle of 0 degrees or 0 radians. If I go to the top of the unit circle here, the angle would be 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians, and the coordinate is 0, 1. Over here I have -1, 0, and at the bottom I have 0, -1. The angles here being pi, or 180 degrees, and at the bottom here 270 degrees, or 3 pi over 2. Now, to get the rest of the points, I need to know my special triangles fairly well, which we developed in a previous example. And so I know, for example, if I look at a 30-degree angle, I can figure out some dimensions here. I won't draw a triangle every single time, but if I put a 30-degree angle in here and make this side equal to 1, I know that the length of my x horizontal component of that triangle is √3 over 2, and the vertical is 1 over 2. And again, that angle is 30 degrees, or pi over 6 radians. So it happens that in every quadrant I would have a 30-degree angle that would have the same coordinates, only different signs. So in the second quadrant I had to go to the left, so my x coordinate is negative. Now 30 degrees less than 180 would put this at 150 degrees. And if you're getting good with your radians, it's 5 pi over 6 radians. If I go into the third quadrant and do a 30-degree angle, I once again have the same numbers, √3 over 2 and 1/2, but each coordinate will be negative in this case because I had to go to the left and down. 30 degrees more than 180 is 210 degrees, or 7 pi over 6 radians. Finally, in the fourth quadrant, if I do a 30-degree angle, once again the dimensions of the triangle would be the same, and they'd be √3 over 2 and 1/2, but I've gone to the right and down, meaning the second coordinate will be negative. 30 degrees less than 360 is 330 degrees. In radians, 11 pi over 6. So we have 8 coordinates so far, 1 in each quadrant, and then the 4 that are on the axes. If I know enough about 30, 60, 90 triangles, I know that the coordinates at 60, if I do a 60-degree triangle, are actually going to be the same numbers, but in reverse order, 1/2, √3 over 2, when I look at 60 degrees, which in radians is pi over 3. So I'll go around and do the same thing I did before, which is have a negative coordinate, positive coordinate in quadrant 2, and that 60 degrees less than 180 is 120 degrees, which is 2 pi over 3 if we're looking in radians. In the third quadrant, a 60-degree angle actually puts me to 240 degrees, which in radians is 4 pi over 3. But most importantly, the coordinates will be 1/2, √3 over 2, but each of those is negative in that we've gone to the left and down in that quadrant. Finally, a 60-degree angle in quadrant 4. Again, the coordinates are the same, positive 1/2, negative √3 over 2, as we've gone right and down, and 60 degrees less than a full rotation would be 300 degrees, or 5 5 pi over 3. So the last coordinates that we haven't filled in are the multiples of 45 degrees. Same logic will apply. If you know your special triangles, you'll know hopefully that this is 1 over root 2, 1 over root 2. Can be rationalized, but we'll leave it this way for now, for a 45 degree angle, which is pi over 4. And so we'll have corresponding points in each of the quadrants. Negative 1 over root 2, 1 over root 2 for a 135 degree angle, which is 3 pi over 4. Quadrant 3, both coordinates negative, and that's 225 degrees, or 5 pi over 4. And finally in the fourth quadrant, first coordinate positive, second coordinate negative. Our angle is 45 degrees less than a full rotation, so it's 315 degrees. In radians, it'll be 7 pi over 4. Lots of information on that page, but hopefully you can see how repetitive it is. And basically, if you know two special triangles, the 30, 60, 90, and the 45, 90 triangles, you can fill in all of this and just realize where your signs are positive and negative based on what quadrant you're in.